We're back on the David Pakman Show. I am Farron Cousins. I have been sitting in for David all day. And I'd like to remind everybody one more time, if you have enjoyed what I've had to say, and to be honest, even if you haven't, I still think you should go subscribe to my YouTube channels, youtube.com/TheRingOfFire, youtube.com/FarronBalanced, and across all social media, I'm at Farron Balanced. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, whatever it is, at Farron Balanced will get you right to me. Now, let's keep going because there's a lot more that I want to talk about before we end today's show. First of all, on Wednesday, the House Homeland Security Committee held a hearing in which Santa Cruz County Sheriff David Hathaway had the opportunity to speak. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene is, of course, a member, for some reason, of the House Homeland Security Committee, and they were talking about immigration. They were talking about the wall, and that is when Sheriff Hathaway decided to point out to Marjorie Taylor Greene that that border wall that Trump loves so much, that Greene and Republicans love so much, is actually pretty racist. Here's how that transpired. Hathaway said, "They're not coming as an invasion to import an army, to have a secret army embedded in the United States to attack America and attack American values. They're coming here to work. They're people of faith. If you add productivity to the economy, it makes the economy more productive and price inflation is reduced." Hathaway then said he didn't want to use the racism word, but argued that there was a xenophobic aspect to Republican policies, saying, quote, "There was never a proposal to build a wall on the northern border, on the Canadian border, so, there is this kind of racist component to it that we all kind of ignore, but it's there, smoldering in the background." Now, he makes a valid point. If we're going to talk about immigration and keeping people out, because, oh God, we just can't have any more people, we only built one wall. Well, we didn't even finish building the wall, and Mexico definitely didn't pay for it like Trump said they would. But we never even considered putting a wall up there by Canada, right? And I know that, a lot of people are going to say, but Farron, that's because there's not, caravans of people coming across the northern border. Well, let me tell you, fake person that I created in my head and am now arguing with, here's the difference. You see, your talking point that, well, there's not caravans. First of all, there's not caravans actually coming across the southern border either. We only hear the word caravan, like Donald Trump said it a couple days ago, when there's an election looming, or when there's something Republicans want to distract us from that they've done horribly. But we haven't heard the word caravan in quite some time, but there's an election coming up, so it's coming back. Either way, Donald Trump told us, while he was president, that he didn't want people from blank hole countries coming into the United States. So that talking point alone really crushes any "we're totally not racist" claims coming from the "we build the wall" crowd. Well, not the "we build the wall" crowd, that is a totally different story for a different day, but the build the wall crowd, right? Donald Trump admitted it. He has openly said he wants, people from whiter countries and, Europe, Northern Europe. So, pretty obvious what Donald Trump was doing when he started the whole build the wall thing. And this Sheriff Hathaway, is 100% correct about that. There are definitely racist undertones to the build the wall crowd and the wall itself. But as you can imagine, Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't like this. This really set her off, and she went absolutely ballistic on Sheriff Hathaway, who actually knows what he's talking about. And here is what Greene said. "I'd have you know, Sheriff, there are 77 major border walls around the world. 45 countries are planning and building more. Walls are not racist. Walls keep people safe, and this country is not safe. People are being murdered every day." And at that point, people in the hearing started to laugh, which only made her crazier. And she said, "That's not funny. Walls are not racist. It's not racist. And the American people have every right to be fed up just like they are fed up and disgusted that our country is not keeping them safe. And guess what? They freaking pay for it. If you're talking about they freaking paid for the wall and Mexico did not, then you're absolutely right. But no, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go ahead and debunk you right now. There are not people being killed every single day in this country by illegal or undocumented immigrants. That's not happening. Statistics have proven that undocumented immigrants actually commit crimes at lower rates than citizens here in the United States. Why? Well, one, because maybe they're just not criminals. But two, it's not worth it. Why would you come into a country illegally, knowing that if you do the slightest thing, they're going to catch you and deport you? Or would you rather keep your nose clean, go about your business, find a job you can work, and make a little money, and help support the economy like Sheriff Hathaway was telling us here? These people are not coming in to build an army. They're not coming in as part of the Great Replacement. They're coming in because they want work. They're coming in because they need work. They need better conditions. They're fighting for their own safety. They don't want to commit crimes. They're leaving places from where they're trying to escape crimes. Our economy is dependent upon foreign workers, both documented and undocumented, coming into this country. And if you have a serious problem with that, you don't take it up with the people coming across the border. You take it up with the corporations that continue to abuse these workers. If you want to change immigration in the United States, you cannot change it. You cannot even address it until you address these corporations. You know, there was a story a couple years ago where you had, I believe it was a meatpacking plant, I think in Mississippi. I'm pointing over there because where I'm sitting, that's where Mississippi is. A couple hundred illegal workers, undocumented immigrants, working at this meatpacking plant. The feds raided it, pulled everybody out, had them sitting on the ground in handcuffs, all of them there. Arrested all of them. What about the owners of the plant? What happened to them? Nothing. And that's what happens. The owners of the plant don't have to worry. Oh, they may get a fine, they may get a slap on the wrist, which of course is what happens in this case, but it's nothing compared to the profits they make off the backs of these people. And what are these individuals going to do if they get hurt on the job? What are they going to do if the employer pays them less than minimum wage? Who can they complain to because they're not even legally allowed to be here? They are being exploited by these corporations, both big and small. So if you want to actually address immigration in this country, you cannot do it without starting with these corporations. And by the way, if you were able to do that, suddenly they can't hire these workers. The economy in the United States goes to shambles. We have to have them. They are vital to us. And that's something, that is a concept that is out of the grasp of people like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Did you know that countless commercial databases and people search sites are storing your personal information? Anyone, from an employer to a former partner, can use these platforms to get details about your online presence, your home address, phone number, email, license plate, family members, financial information, even political views. Europe has laws that offer some protection, but in the US, the data is widely accessible. Even the FBI will buy this information from companies to spy on people without a search warrant. Our sponsor, Incogni, provides a solution. It takes just seconds to sign up, and Incogni will send removal requests to all of the major data brokers, legally compelling them to get rid of your data. Incogni keeps you informed throughout the process. You'll get real-time updates, who has complied, which ones are still pending. They'll handle follow-ups, they'll handle appeals on your behalf, and this will save you hundreds of hours. Very few people have the time or resources to do this on their own. This service can also reduce the number of spam calls and emails you get, since many solicitors and scammers get your information from these very same sources. Go to incogni.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman for 60% off. The link is below.